if you have a Google account, you should be able to caption images for free. All you need is to access this model in Google Colab. And I have the code for running the model here. It's in the video description. You can just head over there, click on it, and you'll get to this page. Now, there are two notebooks in here. Let's first look at the Llava Gradio notebook. And I'm not going to run the whole thing here because it's going to take a while to run, but I'll show you. You can just click on the Open in Colab link here, and then you just run these three cells. And right now, I have a default model here, which is a Llava version 1.6 based off of the Kuna 7 billion parameters. And you can change this depending. Some of the bigger models may not load in Google Colab, especially in the free instance, but that's for another day. Anyways, once you're done running this, you're going to see two URLs near the end, actually three here, but the main one is you have to go to this run on public URL, click that, and you get to this page where you can caption your images. Now, if you leave the prompt and temperature blank, it's just gonna use the default settings for these. So let's say we want to caption this image for training a stable diffusion model. And the default temperature, I think I set it to something like 0.01. I don't think you can set it to 0 for this model, but 0.01 basically takes out almost all of the randomness. But if you want more creativity, set it higher to 0 0.7, 0 0.8 or something. Anyways, let's run this, and you should be able to get a caption suitable for stable diffusion here. And then if you want more details, you could just say caption this image in detail for training a stable diffusion model. And occasionally, if you use a very complex prompt here, it may time out and it'll just not give you the results. But then you probably want to just edit your prompt or set a higher temperature if that happens. So yeah, let's now try running this again with a different image. This is one that I used for another YouTube video that I made. So this is a picture of some green lumber. So now let's see, how is it going to caption this? And generally, this will take something about somewhere around 5 to 20 seconds, depending on the image. And then, let's see, this image depicts a stack of green bamboo poles neatly arranged in forest clearing, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you want it to be a bit more creative, well, let's not have it in detail so we can easily see what it's like what sort of typical responses they'll give. So this one will probably, a stack of green bamboo poles ready for use in the forest setting. Now let's crank up the temperature, see if it gets more creative. Stack bamboo logs in the forest, and I think with a temperature that high, every time you rerun this, you're going to get a pretty different result. But it's just going to be not as rigid in how it interprets the photo. So I generally prefer a temperature around 0.1 or so, or you can just leave it blank and use the default of the picture of the bamboo. Now we can also try a different image here. Let's use an image of a brain. And let's caption this for training in a stable diffusion model. The wonders of human cognition, the visual exploration of the human brain. All right, so now you might be thinking, okay, I don't want to be clicking on the submit button every time and just manually captioning a bunch of images. And this is something you can do if you are a Python programmer. So just head over to the GitHub repository, open up the Llava API notebook. And since you're a programmer, you can definitely feel free to customize this code to your liking. But here, what I'm doing is you would just need to copy this public URL, paste it in this Gradio URL field here, and the labeling prompt, I just say caption this image. But you can, let's say, caption this image for training a stable diffusion model. And then you have the Gradio URL here. So let's run this. It'll install a few requirements. And this labeling function here, I made it so that you can use this labeling prompt, or you can use a different prompt. And I also have a strict mode here. This is for when you're giving it images that are a bit, sometimes the files are corrupt and Gradio, the backend just cannot read those images properly. So you would basically, you would have OpenCV open that image and then save it again as a temporary file. So now let's have it label those two images automatically. So let's preview the first image, and that's the brain. And now let's label this image. And this will take a few seconds. Wonders of human cognition, visual exploration, human brain. And then let's look at the one with the green lumber here. And we can label this image. Looks good. A stack of green bamboo poles ready for use in a forest setting. So I would recommend that, especially if you're labeling a bunch of related images, you would go to this interface, play around with the prompt a bit and the temperature, see what works for you for those images, and then you plug them in here. Well, you can plug them in the Llava API here, and then use the custom prompt. I actually set the temperature here to 0.01. I actually think you should probably be more consistent in the labeling, but if you want to be creative, you can definitely bump that up. So there you have it. And once you are done labeling your images, be sure to go in here and go into runtime, manage sessions, and delete the Gradio session here, the Llava Gradio one. Otherwise, Colab, Google's not going to like it. And you can see here from the usage, I have about 1 hour, 20 minutes of usage left today. And if I just let it run, this is gonna run now. Google will close my backend here, and I would not be able to use Google Colab, at least the GPU, for another 48 or so hours. So take a look at this. If you have any questions, feel free to leave any comments in the video. Thank you.